All right, hi everybody. I'm Matt Loede here at NFLGridironGab.com, and welcome to Championship Friday, as of course the two championship games taking place this weekend on Saturday, or I should say on Sunday, of course. Both games on Sunday this time around. The Eagles and the Cardinals, 3 p.m. Eastern, and of course the Steelers and Ravens, the AFC Championship game at 6:30 Eastern scheduled time. All right, let's start with the NFC game. The game out in Arizona, who would have thought that it would be the Cardinals and the Eagles getting to this point? The Eagles are favored in this football game by a field goal last time I checked, and I think that they are the better team here. I think they're going to win this football game. A couple of reasons why. Go back to the earlier matchup. The Eagles do match up very well with this Arizona club. Their secondary is very, very good. I think they'll be able to do some things against this Cardinals offense that not many teams are able to do because of their depth in the secondary, of course, with guys like Asante Samuel, Lito Shepherd, Sheldon Brown, and others. I think that they've got the type of matchup to take care of Kurt Warner and that Cardinals offense. I know the Cardinals have run the football a lot better as of late, at least in these first two playoff games, but the Eagles also have a pretty good front four that can do some damage there as well. So I think when you look at that matchup, I like the Eagles' defense. The Cardinals have run that Cinderella type of style. They beat, of course, the Atlanta Falcons in Arizona 2 weeks ago, upset the Carolina Panthers decisively on the road last week in Carolina. But overall, I think that the end of it is here. I think that the Cardinals have had an outstanding year. They're going to be able to build on this year. But at the end of the day, I like the Eagles in this game. Also, don't forget, Donovan McNabb has been phenomenal in the fourth quarter of these first two playoff games. He has got a perfect quarterback rating, and he's just been fantastic against Minnesota and the Giants. I think that's another reason why I like Philadelphia in this game. Philadelphia will go to the Super Bowl with McNabb, with Reed, with Westbrook, with Dawkins, and all the others. I like the Eagles in this game. I think it's going to be a pretty tight game, but I think at the end, the Eagles will win the game. I think it's like a 27-20 type of score. I think the Cardinals might have a chance at the very end, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think the Eagles will walk out of Arizona with the NFC Championship. All right, the big game, of course, a lot of people talking about the AFC Championship game taking place at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Two AFC North teams that don't like each other, the Steelers and the Ravens. They met twice in the regular season. The Steelers won both those football games, the first time by a field goal on a Monday night in September. The second time, they beat them in Baltimore by 4 late in the year, and that wrapped up the AFC North and also the second seed. The Steelers are coming off a very, very good football game against the Chargers. Now, the Chargers, of course, had to play the week before against Indianapolis, and they were a little bit banged up. No Loede and Tomlinson. The Ravens have won 2 games in Miami and in Tennessee, and of course, that game in Tennessee was a costly one because they got banged up big time in that game. Samari Rolle was hurt. LaRon McClain was hurt. The big injury, Terrell Suggs, does not look like he's going to go at this point. He's going to need a miracle, I think, to take the field on Sunday night. All in all, I think the Ravens are a very banged-up football team. I think that they're a tired football team considering they have not had a bye week since week 2. I think this plays right into the Steelers' hands. I think the Steelers are going to be able to win this football game. I don't want to say easily. I think they're going to control this football game, though, and I think they will win this football game. The Steelers have a healthy Willie Parker. I think that means a lot to them, that they'll be able to run the football with some success. Now, I don't think Willie Parker's going to have the type of day that he did against San Diego, but at the same time, I think he'll run the football better than he has in the past against Baltimore. Ben Roethlisberger has to be careful with the football. I mean, that's obviously going to be a key. On the other side, Joe Flacco, to me, hasn't done all that much in this playoffs, except for be careful with the football. He's been one of those managers of the game, if you will. He hasn't thrown very many passes, and he's only thrown for, I believe it's 296 yards as I look at the numbers here in the 2 playoff games, and a quarterback rating is 73, only completed 9 passes against Miami. I think the end is near for him as far as this playoff run is concerned. He's a quarterback of the future and a very good one, but I think for this Ravens team, they are running on thin ice right here. I think in Pittsburgh, the Steelers will win this football game. I like it by a score of like 17-7, 17-10, maybe something like that, but I think the Steelers are going to be able to score a couple of times. Don't forget the first game in Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh scored 23 points off of the Ravens. The Ravens scored 20 on Pittsburgh. So I think this one might be a little bit more high scoring than the game in Baltimore that was 13-9. So there you have it. I like the Steelers at home, even though they're given the 5, I like them, and I like the Eagles on the road. I think they'll cover the 3-point spread. That sets up an all-Pennsylvania Super Bowl, Eagles and Pittsburgh. And don't forget, this was almost the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, but New England went into Heinz Field and beat the Steelers, making it a New England and Philadelphia Super Bowl. This time around, I like the 2 Pennsylvania teams. I think it's going to be Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. I'm Matt Loede, NFLGridironGab.com. Stay tuned all weekend long here on NFL Gridiron Gab, and of course on YouTube as well, have video updates. And of course, on Monday, we'll give a little bit of the recaps of the championship games and start talking about Super Bowl 43 in Tampa Bay in 2 weeks.